What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today I want to talk about one of our rookies. One of the rookies we're all very excited about is going to be A.D. Mitchell, somebody who has shown some flashes early on in training camp at the kinds of things that he can provide for us. And of course, when you're looking towards the future, you want to look towards the past. It's usually the best indicator of what's to come. And when you look at A.D. Mitchell, and this is, I say that, trying to judge kids in college based on a number of different things is a difficult thing, right? That's why scouts don't always get it right. I kind of made that seem plain and simple. It's not always like that. You have guys that don't produce well in college end up being really good NFL players and vice versa. So I guess take that with a grain of salt. But for A.D. Mitchell, this is a guy that his first year of college, right? He went to Georgia. His first 2 years of college, he wins national titles with that Georgia team. And not that he was playing a whole bunch. His freshman year, he ends up with 29 catches for 426 yards and 4 touchdowns. So for only having 29 catches, having 4 touchdowns as a freshman is really good. Now, A.D. Mitchell is also somebody who had touchdown catches in every big game that he ever played in college. If he touched the field during a big game, he was scoring. And that's one of the things that coming into it that I think A.D. Mitchell, that's a lot of value that he brings is his ability to get those touchdowns, right? You see guys like Devontae Adams who turned into one of the best receivers into the NFL, and one of the reasons for that is because of his effectiveness when he gets the ball to turn it into a touchdown, whether that's being great in the red zone and how good he is route running and how patient he is, or if that's just his ability with the ball in his hands. Either way, A.D. Mitchell is the same, right? The route running that he brings into it, and as he continues to work on that and get better, that's only going to bode well for us. So everything that he brings, of course, the ball in his hands in the open field, getting away from guys, the speed and explosiveness that he brings is another added element to that, right? You move on his second year, where again he won national championship, but he only appeared in 6 games. He had 9 catches, and even though he only had 9 catches, he had 3 touchdowns. So just continues the point that a lot of times when A.D. Mitchell's touching the ball, he's making good things happen, right? Then you look at the year he transfers over to Texas, right? Goes there for a year, appears in 14 games, has 55 catches, 845 yards, and 11 touchdowns. And overall, when you look at it throughout his college career, throughout the 3 years, he ends up with 93 catches, 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns. Those 18 touchdowns on 93 catches, that's right around 20%, a little better than 20%, I think. So when you look at it, his ability to create big plays is exactly what the Colts need, right? Get the ball in his hands, let good things happen. And with his 15.1 average per reception, right? Average yards per reception coming into the NFL, that's exactly what the Colts have needed, right? And more consistency in that area, right? Spreading the field. Hopefully, Alec Pierce is still becoming that guy and can have some value, but seemingly that's why A.D. Mitchell was drafted, was to be the guy that can really consistently be able to stretch the field. So coming in, that's what I'm expecting. I'm seeing, James Boyd had a tweet the other day after one of the practices saying that Alec Pierce was still leading the charge in terms of the third receiver. But once we get in game, right? Once we get into the preseason and guys have to start performing, right? Don't forget, it's likely, right? If you see AD on the second team, he's going to be with Joe Flacco. If that's the case, there's a real good chance A.D. Mitchell kills it on the second team. And then when those roles are flipped with Alec Pierce on the second team, is Alec Pierce going to dominate on the second team? So that's what, as we get into preseason time, that's what I'm going to be looking for, right? The Colts' first preseason game is next week. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, just to see how good those two are doing in the respective roles. How's that going to go throughout the preseason? We're, of course, going to continue paying attention to that through the preseason and training camp and everything that comes out about that. Any movement that happens, we'll be paying attention. But so far, some of the stuff that's happened for AD in camp, I just want to show this to you guys, just in case you haven't tuned in to the the live streams for training camp updates. This was a play by A.D. Mitchell, boom, making Jalen Jones fall right there, getting out quick, being patient on the line, going out and then in, breaking his ankles right there. This is the rest of that play. You see AD celebrating, getting hyped. That kind of energy, exactly what we need. Somebody that brings the hype, and we'll see more of that as we go on here. Then as we move on to this next clip, AD Mitchell, just easy pitch and catch, nothing crazy, routes on air. But then you had this one. This was early on. I think this was the second or third training camp practice. Just an easy little one-hand snag right there for AD. Doesn't even bring it into his body. Just snags that with one hand. You have AD Mitchell with another catch here. This one having to go up for right there, adjust his body, but is able to get it. Now, he tries to do that in a game. He's probably getting lit up. But nonetheless, AD Mitchell going up, getting a nice little catch right here. And then last little training camp highlight. This is one of the highlights of camp so far. AD Mitchell, great catch. Just absolutely great catch right there. I believe that's Dallas Flowers in coverage right there. Switched to number 21 this year. But AD Mitchell just, again, an outstanding catch right here. Helmet comes off, but he keeps it, gets up, and again, getting hyped. That's what we're looking for, is that kind of energy. So really liking what we're seeing out of the rookie so far in camp. Everything sounds really positive so far. Coming from AD Mitchell, he's everything everybody expected. So I expect him to continue to grow. Him wanting to be great is what's going to push him to be what we expect him to be and what we hope he can be. So, Josh Downs, same thing. They're expecting him to be phenomenal this year. A guy that came in, wanted to be great, and it's showing. In his first year, had one of the best rookie seasons for the Colts in NFL history or in Colts history. And so coming into this year, hopefully AD can follow that up, have an even better rookie year than Josh Downs was able to have. So again, we're going to be looking closely at the wide receiver competition. If there are any changes, of course, we'll let you know. We're going to be having training camp updates as the Colts are having practice and all that. So make sure you subscribe, have notifications on. Plenty more content coming out as we wait for the season to come around. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.